I, I'm Amy Patterson. I'm the Special Education Data Manager. And we have some changes in Infinite Campus on the special ed documents that I thought it would be good for everyone to know about. So these are the updates on the special ed documents. So until now, the version of Infinite Campus interface that we've been using has been called 4.0, and now the new interface we're using is called Elements. And Infinite Campus approached us and asked us if we would like to work with them in making some changes to the look of the forms. It's just a different look and feel, to sort of move the special education documents to to conform with the way the new look in Infinite Campus is going to be overall. So we jumped at that chance, and we made sure that we worked with our special education advisory group for Infinite Campus. That group is made up of a representative from one representative from each of the co-ops, and then the special education co-ops, and then also one representative from each of the special education and early childhood regional training centers. So they met a couple times a month throughout the school year to go through these forms and just make sure everything was going to work the way it should. So some of the things we kind of want to point out is what's not changing. And most of the printed documents are not changing. There have been some very minor changes, grammar corrections, punctuation corrections, those sorts of things. There is one form that we have where we changed the disability categories to align with the exact wording of the disability categories in all the other areas within the special education forms. We did not remove any data validation, data entry validations. So what is changing? It's a totally different look. They put in drop-down menus wherever there were checkboxes before. We had a lot of yes, no checkboxes, but then also a lot of other checkboxes. And they put in drop downs to sort of save space, and it does kind of look a little better. Every document that we have has a landing page, and on this landing page, we have what are called status pills for each of the editors within the landing page. So for every one of the editors within the document, it'll say either not started, in progress, completed, or not needed. And then each of the editors has to be marked either completed or not needed before a document can be locked. And the thought behind that was we want to make sure that everyone has looked at each of the editors and ensured that everything is in appropriately before we lock them. So we wanted to give people the chance to do that. The buttons have moved from the top of the screen to the bottom of the screen, which may seem like a very small change, but it's very different. So people are having to get used to that. For the required fields, they used to just be red text, and now they have an asterisk with them. So these are the special education documents that have been changed. The referral, the consent for evaluation, the conference summary, the evaluation eligibility determination document, and the IEP. And this is just sort of what one of the landing pages looks like. So when you open it up and select something in the referral header or in any of the editors within the documents, it will say in progress and who last modified it. And when it's completed, when the person clicks complete, it'll say who completed it. And once it's completed, you can go back and change it back to in progress to make any necessary changes. But this way, everyone will see who last modified it or who completed it. So if they have questions, they know who to talk to. This is just a screenshot of one of the documents. This one is a new document, but the data is pulled in. When that refresh button is clicked at the bottom, the data is pulled in from the other fields from Infinite Campus so that everything is all coming from the same location. One of the things that's changed is for multiple users. In the past, we've had problems with if two people were working in the same editor at the same time. Whoever saved their document last is the one that would get to keep what they put in, and the other person wouldn't lose anything that was entered. And that was a real problem. So what they've done is they've set it up so that there's a padlock icon on the editor that says somebody's working in this one. So you can open it up as read only. And if you hover over it, you can even see who's in there, but it's locked. So you can't go in and make changes and risk losing those changes. But that person can still get in. Once the editing user navigates away from it, it becomes available to work on. We have seen in some districts that it takes a little bit longer for that to happen, for it to become available after somebody closes out than others. So we're still trying to investigate why. So these are some resources that we have. If you click on the special education resources for using Infinite Campus link, we have data standards there. These are also on our data standards page of the same documents. We have training videos, training PowerPoints, reporting due dates. We have all sorts of useful information for special education and IC. There, just to kind of touch on a few items that we've had a lot of questions about. One was we are aware of an 8,000 character limit, and that is being fixed. I really appreciate the Office of Education Technology and Infinite Campus for working so quickly with me on that. So we're working on taking care of the character limit so that people can enter what they need to enter. For the most part, one other thing is if you have your screen zoomed beyond 100%, it is possible that the navigation buttons, the previous and next, may not show up. But once you zoom your screen back to 100%, it should be fine. So we have run into that. I've had some questions about that. Do we have any questions, Dee?
Just one. Has the new look for special education already been pushed out?
Yes, it has. It was pushed out earlier no, it was last month. Pushed out last month.
Okay. No other questions right now. Have you had any other things come up or helpful hints for folks? We got a little bit more time.
Some other things to think about. So this is the save button, and I don't have a visual for this, but there are, when you click on this little drop down arrow, for most editors, you're going to see save and next, save, or save and stay. And so what save and stay will do is save it and keep it on this editor so you can click complete, or, whatever you need to do. Save and next, we'll save it and move on to the next editor. But you're going to have to go back when you're done. And this is you probably don't want to click complete every time, because somebody else will have to go back to it and enter other information. But if you click save and next, it'll save it and move you on to the next editor. Or if you're at the end, it'll move you back to the first editor. If you just click save, it'll save this editor, and then it'll take you back to the list of editors that I showed you, like this. So you'll be able to click on whichever editor you need. The other item here is this little editors button right here. And that will cause the editors to pop up on the right-hand side, just on the list of editors, so you can choose whichever one you want over there. The print button just shows you a print preview, so you can see what it will look like when it's printed for the parents and for the due process folder. And the refresh button, I recommend that anytime you see a refresh button that you click it. What that does is causes all of the information from Infinite Campus to be updated into here. So it's possible that maybe something's changed on the student. Maybe they changed their race, ethnicity, or they moved, they have a different address or something like that, or a different case manager. That happens pretty often. So if you click refresh, that will update it to be the most recent information. So I recommend that you do that. And once you click refresh, you also have to click save. That shows up on several different editors, and it's a good idea to do that every time.
Thank you. So just for those of you that are joining us this afternoon, might not have been with us this morning, if you do have questions, you can log into app.gosoapbox.com, and the access code is KDE data, and you can enter questions there. Right now, we don't have any additional questions for you.
Lisa put in the chat, do all sections have to be marked complete to lock the document? And the answer to that is yes. That's in here somewhere in one of these. But yes, you do have to mark, all of the editors have to be marked either completed or not needed. So an example of not needed would be, for example, we have some sections in the IEP for students ages 14 or older that talk about secondary transition, or transition to post-secondary. So you can mark those not needed, and that is the same as marking them complete.
Nothing else? Now, this has been worked on by a lot of people, and a lot of effort went into this work, and hopefully the districts are going to see that these are improvements to the process. And as everything, I'm sure we'll continue to refine, and Amy's open to suggestions and feedback.
Always.
On the new stuff, and so is Infinite Campus. So this does align with more of a core product functionality, which is good, because when we have core product functionality, we have some more support and focus on those items.
And I really do like, and CJIC, after they've spent some time in it, we really like the changes that have been made. We think that once you get used to them, they will be very, very useful and more user-friendly. So I'm hoping that everybody can see that. Just be patient as you learn and get used to the changes.